Paradise sound like a paradox to me. Let's get to that. I don't even know what paradise is. Sounds nice though. Let's go get it then.
Hey, Marco.
Hey.
What's it?
It's huge. What's up, guys? This is Rise and Thrive, and welcome to our roundtable talk. Once again, I'm Justin Collier. You can find me on Instagram at Justin Collier, 2 R's, but also JustFitCT as well. And I'll pass the mic over to my guy real quick.
All right, my friends, what's going on? My name is Denzel Robinson. I'm the owner of Inner Quest Coaching. It's something that I'm super passionate about, and you guys can actually find my Instagram handle, DZFit_performance. So if you want to get some tips on habits coaching and things like that, go ahead and check it out. But I'll go ahead and pass it over to my boy.
What's up, family? So I'm Miguel Frazeo. My Instagram, Miguel Frazeo, _ in the front. Honestly, I just want to dive right into it. I've been feeling a lot of... When I texted you guys last night and waking up today, seeing what we're going to be talking about today, I instantly felt so resonated with it, and I was like, I have so much I want to get off my chest, talk about, because I think this is such a big issue when it comes down to moment of weaknesses, right? And how we can overcome these weaknesses and just continue to improve daily, because that's what we're talking about right now and with this whole setup in the community.
So yes, that's our segment today.
That is our segment today, what we're going to talk about with the moment of weaknesses and how to go overcome all of that. So
Let's go.
like I said, I'm happy you guys are letting me talk, because this hits so much with me, and I was struggling with this so much since I was a little kid. And I guess my biggest moment of weakness was just the social anxiety. I could not, I'd go out, I'd put on a front for other people to be like, oh, okay, especially dealing with my mom, saying, oh yeah, I'm fine, don't worry about me, but I'd go home every night and cry because she's in a coma still. She's got surgeries coming up, she's got this, she's got that. And now I have to put on a front for my dad or my brother, who they're looking at me to kind of keep the peace and be like, oh, we're fine, we're gonna get through this. And, it takes a toll on you. So when you go out, I would get so anxious to even go out to a party or to go into a room that I didn't know anyone, because I was like, well, I'm not doing this, I can't. Mm-hmm. And that was a big reason why I moved to Portugal, so I can get over this. But what I've come to realize is I would always get so worried about what people thought about me. And I think that's everyone's biggest weakness, right? You're always worried about what people are going to say about you, judge, think about you. And even when we're doing these first steps of, all right, let's create a podcast, let's create a community, starting your own business, starting your own personal training thing, it's so hard because you're always worried about what someone's going to say about you.
Yeah.
And now you're going to be, okay, well, I want to do this, but I'm so scared to even take those first stumps. But what I've come to realize, and I'm going to pass it right over after this, is people are going to judge you no matter what you do, right? They're going to judge you that you're winning. They're going to judge you that you're losing, that you're in a certain situation. But you might as well do the thing that you actually want to do, because you're going to get judged regardless. And a lot of time that when people are judging you, it's because it's their own insecurities. Mm-hmm. And what my dad has told me since a young age was, right, I point at you and I point at you, right? I have one finger pointing at you, but I got 3 pointing right back at me, and I'm going over my own insecurities. Wow. And I'm putting out going, oh, well, that person's, so confident in this. Oh, they're arrogant. They're this, they're that. We're so quick to judge. Yeah. But we're judging because we're projecting all the stuff that we don't see in ourselves, or we do see in ourselves that we don't have it. Mm-hmm. Oh, this person's in a bad spot, I'm so much better than them. Well, let's look back and real quick and say, all right, what's actually my issue here? What's actually my issue with them? Is it because they're confident in themselves? No, it's because we see the stuff that we see in ourselves, what we see in them. And we're just so quick to judge and put other people's down when we should always try and be lifting each other up. So I'm going to pass it over, because I just want to get it off my chest real quick before we dive into it, and let's go. I'm hyped for this.
Yeah, man. No, that's awesome. I appreciate you sharing that. And just with, people hating, right? Because, it seems to be a big thing now, is you hear haters this, haters that. It's all over the place. Yeah, you got to do what you love anyway, right? You got to do what you love. And you're going to experience hate, like you said. And I think there's a big point where sometimes people might reach out or criticize you, mm-hmm. and we have to be careful about us also assuming that they're hating on us, right? And that's something that I struggled with a lot, right? A lot I struggled with, because I always wanted to try to be the best in whatever it was, but the second someone reached out and was oh, this or oh, that, my initial reaction, no matter what, was just, okay, why are they saying that? Like, are they just like messing with me? Like, because I would immediately feel like, oh crap, like I don't know it or I didn't know it. But really, they're just trying to help me, right? And like they're actually, and more often than not, some of those people tend to be in better spots. Like once again, my mentor, like if I do something and it's like it wasn't necessarily the best way it could have been done, and they tell me, like I know for a fact, okay, they're coming from a good place. So like whether it's your friends or your family, either or, it could be the good, like a hater, or just like really trying to give you feedback. But that's when you have to discern yourself as an individual of knowing, okay, are they like, is what they're saying actually helping me and also giving me confidence? Is it destroying my dream? You have to understand like what angle they're truly coming at, because sometimes the people you least expect might be against you and vice versa. So
I definitely can resonate with a lot of those things that you said, because most of the time too, it's like people will feel like they're being judged because they're being kept accountable for something that they said or something that they said that they do with someone else. And, you know, a lot of the times it can come off as judgment, but it's really just how you really look at it, you know, mentally wise. So, you know, a lot of things that I actually used to deal with, when people would give me compliments, you know, a huge weakness of mine was not being able to accept that compliment. And it was it was one of the hardest things for me, because I was just like, you know, I can't accept that, because to me personally, I didn't feel like I was even worthy enough to have that compliment. You know, to me personally, I was just like, you know what, like I appreciate it, but like, you know, there's still so much work to be done to me. But you guys have to also realize, like, through the scope of that person, they just literally took the time out of their day to say what they needed to say to you. And you got to take into account that, like, wow, they really genuinely care about what I'm doing, or like genuinely see the progress that I'm making.
100%.
And it can be some of the hardest things sometimes. So that's something that I felt that was really like a moment of weakness for me. And
how did you overcome that? Are you learning better now to take and accept compliments? Like, how are you working and transitioning from not being able to do it versus how you are now?
So it's cool you say that, because a couple days ago I was actually talking to my mom about this, and she was, and I was, shout out moms, honestly. And I was telling her, I was just like, Mom, like, you know, someone just gave me like such a great compliment today, but I had no idea how to even like
take it in and like try
answer
to like,
it,
sit with
literally.
it. Yeah.
So half the time I was literally just like, well, my mom was telling me. We just had to help some people try to get in through the lounge. But you know, what my mom was telling me, she was just like, all you have to say is thank you. It's just that simple. And I'm just like, but I don't see it as that simple, you know, because, you know, I always just do a deep dive into myself, and I'm always just like, you know, I'm not where I need to be yet. Yeah. So I feel like it's not like a compliment I can accept just yet.
And you don't want to let it go to your head and then try to throw you off, or you come off being, this is the good thing about feeling like you're being judged. If you like, you accept the compliment and then like, oh, now it goes to your head, and then now you have an ego, and then it's this, that, and you don't mean for it to come off that way, or you think it's going to come off that way if you accept that compliment.
Exactly. Well, I usually think it's coming off as like an ego. Yeah. That's why. And like, when you don't give that person that thank you, it essentially is them just looking at like, oh, this kid just got a big ass ego.
Exactly.
Like, he's not.
And you don't mean for it to come off that way.
Exactly. I don't at all. And it's
but
just
then
like,
you look at the bigger scope of it, and you're like, oh, actually, I just should have said thank you.
Exactly.
Like, they went out of their way, and now it would be nice for me just to be nice back and say thank you, or even then give them a compliment as well.
So that's what I've been really like working on a lot, is just to, when people compliment me or say like good job with this or that, I'm just like, yo, thank you, appreciate that. Like, it means a lot more than you think, type of thing.
100%.
Because it really does. Like those type of things. Like, I really take a self-awareness moment, and I'm just like, yeah, this is big.
You pull yourself out of the situation and you look down at it again, like you talked about in the last episode, where you pull yourself out, reassess the situation, what's going on. All right, you can do it when you're feeling insecure about certain things, or when you have like a moment of anger or like being upset, and then you could also take it out and be like, all right, now let me just like express a little gratitude that someone that came out of their way and gave me thanks or gave me a compliment, whatever the case is. Like, you have to pull yourself out in both situations. All right, let me pull myself out of being angry, let me pull myself out of being like
sad, anything,
ego, anything, and just accept what the reality is.
Exactly. Because, you know, you never want to be visualized as a bad person.
No,
and when you
without a
have
doubt.
those self-awareness moments, you know, those are the big moments where you're just like, all right, I got to check myself real quick.
Exactly. And I think also with the whole thing of being judged, like, we feel like we're being judged. But the thing is, the amount of times that other people are feeling the exact same way as us is another thing as well. I've come to realize where I'd be walking in Portugal, like, I'd trip like on the sidewalks. This is all cobblestone. Like, it's not even. Like, if you're not paying attention, like, you'll trip.
Whoops.
Yeah, right. And I would get so flustered. I'd get so like red. I'd be like freaking out. Going, everyone just saw that. But then I know if I see someone else trip, I go, oh, like, I hope he's all right.
Yeah.
And I started changing my mindset, going, all right, let me start thinking that other people are just saying, oh, I hope he's okay, or they don't even care. Because half the times when we see someone else do something wrong or like upset, yeah, we can be quick to judge, but also we're gonna be like, all right, well, that was that. We move on. That didn't affect me emotionally, mentally, financially, physically, anything. Like, it's fun. You tripped, but like another person tripped, and I'm not gonna be upset from them. Like, they tripped, all right, well, I hope they're all right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, to go off of that too, it's like whenever anybody does make a mistake or whenever you do have a weird moment of weakness, I mean, by the next day, most people are going to forget, right?
Yeah,
it's like
true.
People like think about it too, like whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on some type of different app, realistically what's going to happen is you're going to end up seeing something, maybe it makes you laugh, whatever it might be, but then within like an hour, maybe less than an hour, like 20 minutes, it's completely out of your head. It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
So it's like, why do people make such big deals about people judging other people? Because if you think about it too, like if they do judge you, great. For 2 seconds, and then move on, right? Exactly. It's not like they're consistently coming back to judge you more, right? Then what I would honestly consider that to be is a true hater. It's like that's somebody
100%.
that's going out of their way to hate you, right? Versus like you just see somebody and you're like, wow, that was like annoying or whatever, and then you never see him again.
And
like
that was that.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So it's like rip the Band-Aid off. It's
100%. And to go back to what you said before, it's just recognizing that whether it's a genuine concern that someone's expressing to you, feedback, or just someone full-blown hating. Like, you're gonna look at people who are successful and listen to them. Like, winners want other winners to like come up, and they're never gonna pull you down, right? So if you're gonna try to get fit, you're not gonna look at someone who's not eating a healthy diet, who's not in the best shape, or doesn't have the dream body you want. You're also not gonna get financial advice from someone who's been broke, or like who currently is broke. And you're not going to get parenting, relationship advice for someone who's been divorced 6 times. I know that's drastic, but like, it's an extreme. It's like, you're not going to listen to those people. And sometimes we're like, oh, because we like this person, like I've gone out with them a couple times, whatever. So we keep our feelings over the facts of what's actually going on. Right. And that's not going to help you at all. Right. And to my point before, where winners want other winners to win, the quote that resonates with me so much, I heard from Ed Milet in that podcast you sent, was, if you want to build the tallest building, you're not going to tear down the other ones. You're going to build the tallest building because that's the way you do it. You're not going to tear others down to build yourself up. That's the shittiest way to do it. You want to actually grow and become better. It's what we've been talking about for so long. You help you, and then you start building other people up with you. Because why do like I said, winners don't want winners to stay down. They're going to pull everyone up and just keep growing life and getting better and improving every single day.
Can I add to that too?
Take them like
So
please.
with the towers, right? Say that you're pulling everybody else down. You're also capping your own potential and your own growth. Because if you're growing a tower and then you try to build it, rip everybody else's down, well, like yours isn't growing, and also you have nothing to compete against and compare to. So imagine you get rid of all competition, right? And it's gone, and you're like, oh, I'm the best in town. Look at me. And then it's like, okay, well, are you going to be the best in town for the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years? Because like I can almost guarantee you that over time, guess what? Those buildings are going to be built back up. and then
probably even bigger.
Probably even bigger, right? Because guess what? They learned something from you pulling them down too. So it's like, it's just going to keep going up, right? And from there, it's like you can't, destroying competition, right? There's one way to do it that's healthy, and there's one way that's not. When you pulling other people down like that, people don't forget, right? And then it's also, yeah, exactly. And then
I actually want to say something about that too, because people don't forget. So I say this a lot too. It's like people will forget what you say or what you do, but they will never forget how you made them feel.
100%. 100%.
And if you're someone who makes another person feel terrible, they will always remember you by, oh, this person always gives me a terrible feeling. I don't want to be around them type of thing. So it literally takes $0 and 0 cents to be a good person. Zero. Just make sure you leave a lasting impact on that person, because people will always be the X factor in that. And I always just kind of, I came back from church today, and, you know, the church topic was being spiritually vigilant. And the way I feel like this resonates with moments of weakness, when you're in these moments of weakness, it kind of speaks to you as if like you're being spiritually weak. Like you're not holding yourself accountable for certain situations. And, you know, God or whatever your religion may be, for me, I'm Christian, so I do praise God a lot. And, you know, having that spiritual vigilance will help you be stronger in the sense of you not having moments of weaknesses. Because when you have your faith, when you have your belief, and you believe that you made these decisions for a reason, they will prosper you in the end. So, you know, I just felt like being spiritually vigilant was a great segment to actually build off of the moments of weakness, because a lot of the times when you're going through these moments of weakness, you know, you're not thinking spiritually. No. You know, you're kind of thinking about the outside factors that will hurt you in a sense, 100%. You know?
100%. And the thing is, like, what we can tie with all, and we've all been athletes. You deal with a lot of athletes, you as well. And it's like the whole feedback thing and being strong and believing and having faith that you're going to get through it. It's like, all right, you fall 7 times, you get back up 8. You're going to listen to your coach because they've been in that position before. They know what it's like to win, and they see the potential you have in them. So, again, bringing it back before, it's where someone gives you feedback or criticism. Learn to accept it. Take it in and learn from it, because then you're just going to keep improving. Your game's going to get better. You're going to get stronger. You're going to get faster. You're going to get quicker. And next thing you know, or you're going to get smarter. It's like all of these things, learning how to deal with criticism and taking it. Like you look at all these winners. They'll sit down and look at tape 24/7. They'll sit down and be in the gym 1,000 hours out of like a week, being, all right, let me get reps, let me get reps, let me get reps, let me make sure it's perfect, because this is what everyone's telling me to do that are in the better positions to get me, because they see what they have in me. And some people are so quick to, like you said before, brush it off. They're hating on me. They don't want, I'm so quick to be defensive. It's like, no, they're trying to help you out because they see what you have. They see the light that you have on you, and you're not doing anything with it. And it's just learning how to accept it, realize what's criticism, what's concern, because how many times have we been genuinely concerned with someone and they come off as, oh, you're being a hater. It's like, no, like, I want the best for you. Like, you've texted me a couple of times before going, yo, where's your accountability check? Because I was either stuck with work or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I got an excuse, I got this, I got that. I see that, it's like, I could have been so quick to be like, you know what, like, piss off, leave me alone, exactly. Whatever, but I know you see something in me the same way I see something in you guys, right? And I said, all right, perfect, thank you, got on it right now. And I put it on. Because I could have taken it like, oh, he's being a hater, he doesn't want me to succeed, whatever. And he's trying to take me down, or he sees something that, oh, you know what, I'm going to pull him down because he's going to be better than me. It's like, no, it's all genuine love for all the people that we have in our community, and we wanted to keep going. So it's learning to recognize, all right, this is criticism and they're being a hater, or this is feedback and I need to learn how to get better at this so I can become better for the people around me.
I love that. I really do. So I want to ask you guys, though, I know this is about moments of weakness and how we can overcome them, but, you know, you were explaining it to us earlier. What were those moments of weakness specifically that you dealt with during this week that you felt like you needed to overcome, or that, you know, you maybe still haven't overcome and you're still figuring out a way? You know, what were just those moments of weakness that you guys were going through?
So for me, moment of weakness was really, it comes with the little stuff for me, right? Like making sure I finish everything that I said I was going to do. That's probably one of the hardest things. And I think there's times where you tell people, hey, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that, and you don't do it. And for me, what happened was I had my stepsister's graduation party this weekend, right? On Saturday.
Congratulations.
Thank you, brother. Super exciting stuff. And it was just, it was fun. And like, the thing is that I was trying to get all my other stuff done and just be super, super on time. And I forgot that I told my sister that I'd be there like an hour early to like hang out, maybe help out a little bit, just like before the party started, right? And then of course my mom messages me saying, yeah, like be there from like 4 to 8. I'm like, okay. But once again, I should have been there at 3. And like I was going through the day, I was locked in, and then I forgot. And then my sister calls me and she's like, hey, like why, like where are you? Because my sister, like, she doesn't call me unless usually she needs something, which is like the funny part, right? We can like talk about it. It's like, okay, why is she calling me? And she's like where are you? Because like none of the other friends were there, and some of my family was already there. And so I'm just thinking to myself, like, crap, I literally forgot to do that. Like I forgot to go early. And so like I'm headed there, and there's like obviously traffic, and like I actually got there 5 minutes after 4, like after the party, like quote unquote started, and I still had to make an extra stop. But the second that happened and she kind of called me out and like guilt tripped me a little bit, which, hey, I understand. I said that, right? I said I was going to be there early. That hit me a little bit, and that hurt, because I'm the type of person now where I keep my word, and I have to keep my word. I try my absolute best to keep my word. So I'm very careful about if I'm going to say yes or to somebody, no to somebody, or give them a definite answer.
Yeah.
And that's something that we all need to do a better job of doing. Like, do not be very careful with what you say. 100%. And when you say it, live it and own it. Mm-hmm. Some people will laugh because I'll go out of my way, like, to prove a point or to do X, Y, and Z after I said I did it, even if it made no sense at that time. Yeah. Because I said I'd do it.
Yeah.
Like, just like with my accountability stuff, like if I say like, okay, I'm going to do this post for 100 days, like I'm doing it for 100 days. Even if I'm literally, it's like, and this is actually funny because this happened. I made a post and it was like 11:59 at night, and I was like freaking out, and I posted it. And so that my whole point is like, I do not care. Like if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And so when I don't do that, like this happened this week, even if it's something small, like, okay, I was supposed to be there early. And even if they're not like super upset about it, I still took that heavily because I was like, crap, I lied to myself. Yeah. And so we got to be careful. Don't hold on to that for too long, because that's how you just start to spiral, because you got to move on, right? So it's in the past, but either way, like that's a lesson of like, be very careful about when you just automatically commit to someone, because you never know.
And we're so quick to do it.
And we're very quick in the society to be like, yeah, sure. And then be like, oh, sorry, man, like can't do it. It's like, you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that
because
person.
Then other people start realizing it, and then that becomes kind of your reputation. And sometimes what I think we all struggle with is so quick, like you said, we're so quick to make plans or say we're going to do something. Day comes, you're like, oh, I didn't realize I have 3 things to do today, or I have 10 things to juggle. I said I was going to be here, and I really have to be somewhere else like 40 minutes away at that same time. So just being more organized and like true to yourself sometimes, like having a calendar, like, when we're younger, we're like, oh, we don't need it, like we'll just do whatever. We're very like so free-spirited. But sometimes being organized like that helps so much, where you're like, all right, I'm going to be organized so I know what exactly I have to do for the day. All right, now I committed to this. I put it right on my calendar right then and there, saying, all right, I said I was going to do it. Now I'm going to do it. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to come off as that reputation going, oh, now you're not going to have your friends starting to hit you up anymore. You're going to start missing out on opportunities because they see you as, oh, actually, you said you're going to be here and you're not. Right. And then, like you said, it takes a toll on you, because you want to be there for your sister. You want to be there for the people that you committed to, because they're also expecting you to be there. And sometimes it's just like owning up to, all right, I said I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Let's get it done. And feeling like that, crossing off that list that you just did it, helps so much. Like I know when I was in Portugal, when I was like trying to get into the habit of creating daily routines or whatever the case was, like I'd write out like to-do lists every single day, like the night before. All right, I want to read, I want to go for a walk, I want to work on my dissertation, I want to go here, I want to go do this. Mm-hmm. All right, awesome. Next day comes, crossing off that little word, even if it was like this little list, and I just went like that, so satisfying. Yeah. And it's just having those small wins helps so much, and then you begin to get more true to your word. You become more self-confident, and then you start not worrying about what others are going to say about you, and you become so authentic that people are going to just start drifting and coming towards you because they want to be around that same energy as well. So I think what we keep talking about, keep coming back to is in these moments of weakness, figure out who your close-knit community is and figure out who you can trust and listen to, because then that way it's going to help everything else going for you, right? To the point of, you want to get better in shape, follow someone who's going to have your dream body. You want to get financially stable, listen to someone and follow someone who's been in those shoes already that can teach you and do everything right. And if you want to have your dreams get killed instantly, tell it to a small-minded person, and it's done. And you're never going to have that dream again, and everything that you wanted in life is no longer going to be that way. It's gone just like that because you told a small-minded person instead of telling a winner who's going to try to bring you up with them.
It's crazy because a man is nothing without his word.
True.
Nothing. And a lot of the times what I'm seeing nowadays, especially in this society now, is small-minded men can't keep their word. As harsh as that sounds, it's true. They're not accountable, they're not disciplined enough, and they can't face like rejection. They can't face any type of hard times that come to them. And, you know, that's basically what our whole, you know, roundtable is about, is just making you into a more accountable man, because you are nothing without your word. If you're going to promise someone something, you're going to do it. That's what's going to make you a trustworthy person towards the end of the day. So, you know,
or a woman too. Any ladies out there listening?
Or a woman too.
That'd be better.
Or a woman too. Absolutely. But to go into like our moments of weakness, you know, for me, you know, I honestly, I dealt with it yesterday. I wasn't doing anything bad or anything, but, you know, I had traveled out to Long Island. I was filming for my White Plains rugby team and getting a bunch of film for them. But, you know, there were a lot of things on my habit share checklist that I did not check off because I felt like I didn't have the time to. I felt like I didn't make much of a commitment to it. It's like the only thing that was on my mind was driving out, filming this game, then getting home before 9 o'clock. As crazy as that sounds, it's literally time does not matter in this case. But, you know, the weekend before, I traveled out to Newport, which is even a longer drive. But I still had the ability to go home, do what I need to do, cook dinner, went on a run, all this stuff. But yesterday, I felt defeated. Like, as soon as I got home, like, I didn't feel confident enough to go out and like do what I needed to do. So, you know, there were a lot of things I didn't check off. I still got my prayer in. I still got my time with God. That's the biggest thing, because my faith is unbroken. But, you know, I didn't go on my run. I didn't get to work out. So a lot of that I paid for today, and, you know, I made it worth it. You know, I did. And that's the things, like, when I broke down in those moments of weaknesses, you're like, you know, I really just succumbed to the laziness. I succumbed to it, and I'm here to admit that too, because, you know, I made an effort. I made the effort to make myself accountable, but, you know, I didn't follow through with the motion yesterday. So that was basically my moment of weakness, and, you know, how I really came to overcome it was just coming here, speaking the truth to these guys that I care so much about, and then also, you know, being truthful in the fact that, you know, I wanted to fix it. I wanted to make sure the next day I did what I needed to get done. So, you know, that's basically my moment of weakness that I went through and how I really overcame it. And, you know, anybody who's going through any type of situation like that, you know, just be truthful to yourself. Don't just like brush it away. Like, be truthful to yourself and do what you need to get done. It doesn't have to get done right then and there, but if you're feeling it, like the next moment, or if you have this urge in your stomach that you need to do it, do it. Just do it, because it's going to make you feel 10 times better after you finish it.
Let's go. And I want to also add to that as well. Like, dude, when you miss, I always say don't miss. And the reason why I say don't miss is because every time you miss, like, a part of you arguably dies. Right? Like, it's, and once again, when I say like a part of you, I mean like a micro level dies. But the beautiful part is that we have the next day. It's not always guaranteed, but, you know, we plan the next day and we can always improve, right? So It's always just learning from it. And the second you learn from it and you make that mistake and you make the issue, it's like, okay, what went wrong? How can we fix it, right? And so a big thing with that too is like, especially when we have to travel, or when any of you guys, any athletes listening or anyone listening, is like, if you need to travel and go somewhere and there's like a big plan or event that's going to be 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, you have to make sure that either A, you're waking up earlier, B, you're finding a more efficient way to do whatever it is that you need to get done, or number 3, you end up doing it later and you're powering through your emotions. Because at the end of the day, the high performer and the executor, like, they are going to step over how they feel in that moment, right? And that's something that I've struggled with so much just growing up, and as I've gotten older, is like, okay, learning more and more that like it doesn't necessarily matter how I feel in that moment, right? Depending on the context. Like if it's just me and the thing I need to do, doesn't matter. I know I have to get that thing done though to keep it going.
When you have your why, it's the how gets so easy. When you find out like why you're doing a certain something, there's no excuses. Like you get it done. Like, oh, how am I going to be able to, it doesn't matter. You have your why, you have your purpose, you have everything you want to get done, it's getting done.
And the other thing too is when you have those moments of weakness, right? Literally text somebody. Like if you're like, I'm about to fail, like I'm going to fail this, like, and you start getting in your head the negative self-talk, immediately be like, hey dude, I'm literally thinking this right now. Or like, hey dude, like I literally don't know.
Having that close-knit community.
The second that person responds, do it. Like get it done. You're like, okay, like I just needed somebody to reinforce.
100%.
I will sometimes do that where like I feel like, oh, do I feel like I'm going down right now for a second? Okay, wait, let me reach out to one of my boys quick just so I can make sure that like I'm good. Like and I'm on the path because I need that. You know, sometimes everybody needs that.
100%.
Where you're feeling like, but then you're like, you know what, like, but you don't think about reaching out to someone. You're just like, I'm with myself.
Because you don't want to burden someone else, right? You have that feeling, oh, you're going to burden someone else. If I text them going, oh, I need a little help right now. But we're in the, like today's like world now, we need more help more than anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you get so much farther with someone supporting you in the back. Like, and I know this is like cheesy, but like the movie Goal with Santiago Munez.
I saw that, dude.
Yeah.
Such a good movie.
The coach pulls him
Such a
aside
good movie.
and goes, all right, dribble there. Right? Dribble to the 18-yard box. He's at the halfway line. Dribbles to the 18-yard. He kicks a ball. Ball obviously going to get there faster. All right, try it again. Makes him do it 10 times so he realizes that you actually get there when you pass and move the ball. And when you work as a team, you're going to get somewhere a lot further than you trying to do it on your own. And we don't want to burden someone else or whatever, but it's, again, finding that community that wants to see you improve, that you're going to rely on them as they're going to rely on you. And then you get to go so much farther, and you get to become a winner and then pull other people with you so that they can win as well. And I think it's just so important. Yes, the moment of weakness is so easy to curl into a ball and be like, all right, I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. Like, but you see those winners come in, all right, I'm still going to go to the gym because I'm sore. Doesn't matter. Good. I'm sore. Let's go.
Good.
Like, now I didn't get the job I wanted. Good. Let me work harder. Oh, you need more money? Find a way to get smarter. Good. Let's do it. It's like learning how to take all the negative and tell yourself, all right, I'm not going to live like this anymore. Let me move forward and try to become improved. Because, like you said before, tomorrow isn't guaranteed. And a lot of people think, oh, I have a roof over my head, I have food, oh, I'm good to go. I have nothing else to worry about. But tomorrow's not guaranteed. Like, life can change for you like this. And I can be the first one to say it, like, I did not think that was going to happen to my mom. I was in a world where I was a spoiled brat. I'll own up to that every single day of the week. I got what I wanted, when I wanted, how I wanted. There's no questions asked. If I wanted new cleats, got them. If I wanted to go to this place, got it. Oh, I wanted to go eat here for my birthday party with 20, 30 friends. Oh, no worry, I'm good. But guess what? Next day, mom's in the hospital, right? Where's my breakfast in the morning? Why is my bag not ready? How am I getting to camp? How am I getting picked up for school? How am I getting picked up for soccer?
All the stuff you took for granted.
All the stuff you take for granted, and it's like you need to realize to live every single day because it's not guaranteed. Like finding ways to figure out your moment of weakness to get through it, even if it's so small. Like, I'm sorry, like I'm taking so much time, but like I get emotional with this because I took a lot of shit for granted. And I continue to do it every now and then. I catch myself doing it. But in those moments, I sit down, I thank God every single day. Because I would not be what I am right now if all this shit that didn't happen to me. I wouldn't be trying to figure out and trying to help my parents' situation. I wouldn't be who I am right now trying to become a better man so I could be a better role model for my brother. Like, or a better friend or whoever, like whatever I'm going to do for someone else, like I'm trying to do everything in my power to help others because I would hate for anyone here, especially you guys, friends at home, whoever it is. Like, there's so much more to life than rocking into a ball and being that's it and just giving up. Like, even if you start small, that's like you said before, we're not asking you to start now and do it right then and there or change your life drastically because it's not going to change. But you slowly pick up on the small wins. You slowly start figuring out ways that's going to benefit you or change your personality, change your life. Like, take those actions because you're not guaranteed tomorrow.
Stack those days, baby. Stack those days.
It's the power of one more, right? Ed Milet, read that book, guys. Like, it's the power of one more. And being like, his dad was an alcoholic, didn't know he was gonna make it. Oh, I just got one more day. Let me just get through today, and I got tomorrow. Like, let me do it. Like, let me get through today so I can have tomorrow. I don't know. I've seen a lot. I've been through a lot, and I'm not saying my story's a lot worse off than anyone else. I'm not saying that because everyone's always got a worse situation, right? But if we can learn to pick others up and bring them along for the ride to have a better outcome and to have a better end, like, I have a tattoo on my chest. It's written in Portuguese, and it's the last thing I'll say, right? It's written in Portuguese, but it translates to, you can't go back and change the past, but you could start right now and change the future. Because sometimes someone needs is just a little switch, and their whole life changes. And it's either you hide and you don't get back up, or you get up and you keep going and you keep fighting through all this stuff, being so disciplined to change your life, change your family's life, change your friends, change whoever you want in your life to become a better person.
I think that's absolutely great. I think that's so great.
Let's go.
Honestly, like I've kind of went over everything I've needed to say about my moments of weakness, and you know, the beautiful thing is still having that self-awareness to know when you're being weak too.
100%.
So
It's powerful stuff.
You know, I really commend Migs on really breaking out this one because that was beautiful. I hope this episode will actually teach a lot of people too that it's okay to be weak. There are moments of weakness that fly through all of us.
Yes.
You know, it's not just like we're just three perfect guys sitting here just trying to be perfect. Dude, we are far from perfect.
Yes,
we've been
true.
through a lot of stuff, but we've had that self-awareness to know when to actually make it right. I think that's great, man. I think that's really good. I don't know if you guys have anything else to say.
No, that's all I got.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here, man. I'm just happy to be alive.
Yeah, right? Hey,
what
God
I'm saying?
bless you all, man.
God bless.
Stay spiritually vigilant. My church session today, you need to stay spiritually vigilant and true to yourself. Moments of weaknesses will happen, but you need to stay vigilant always. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next episode.
See ya.